Comic-Con. How is everybody doing today? Having a good day? Day 2 of New York Comic-Con. We're having a blast here on the Twitch stage, powered by Fandom, and now I am joined by some of the lovely folks from the Man in the High Castle. Now this is, if you're not familiar, Amazon does this pilot series and they pick episodes from shows and they create it, and this was one that I saw and I was like, please, dear God, make this a series, because if I don't figure out what happens, I'm going to be really sad. And now we're heading into season 3. First off, congrats to getting to season 3. But tell us a little bit about the experience behind creating the world within the Man in the High Castle and bringing it to television audiences.
Oh, God. Well, it's an ongoing challenge all the time. I mean, we're creating a history that never happened. And if, for those of you not familiar with the show, it happens in 1962 into 63 in America, but an America that has been defeated in the Second World War by the Nazis and the Japanese. And America is divided. Half of America is occupied and run by Nazis, American Nazis, run out of Berlin. And the other half of America, the West Coast, is run by the Imperial Japanese. And in the middle is this neutral zone along the Rocky Mountain states. And this was the world imagined by Philip K. Dick when he wrote the book, and we tried to recreate. And we try and make it as authentic and as real as we possibly can in every detail.
And what is it like adapting the story from the book and, you know, bringing it to life and showing that world and how it would have been had this occurrence happen, if it happened, or maybe it didn't? I don't know. It could have happened. Just depends on where we are in the situation.
Well, okay. As far as I'm concerned, one of the most important things, if you're like me, I'm playing a Nazi, but I'm playing an American Nazi, is to it's a strange world these days, is to avoid the automatic choices that you make from watching too many movies about Nazis, because you just automatically will start doing stuff that you've seen Nazis do in movies, and it becomes very secondhand. For me, it's about undoing that and trying to play an American, because it's the juxtaposition of those two things. You get a Nazi sitting at his breakfast table with ketchup, eating a burger, talking with his wife. That's when it becomes really strange, because there's some stuff you recognize and there's some stuff you don't. That's where he brings to home the fact that this is a reality that could have happened, indeed could happen, one way or another, and it's avoiding all of the cliches that come to be like shorthand. You just get rid of those and start from scratch every time.
And is this one of those things where, you know, as I mentioned, you guys shoot the pilot and you have to wait to see if it's going to be picked up? Do you shoot the, like, how do you go about shooting it? Is it one thing where you just shoot the pilot, hope it gets picked up, and then you pick back up a few months later?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we shot the pilot and then we waited for all of you wonderful people to decide whether we could continue. Yeah, it was several months.
Yeah, but the difference was we could actually see how it was going down. Normally, if you do a pilot with a show that doesn't get picked up, you never see it. With this, we could watch it because everyone was watching it, and then you get to write. You know, normally you wouldn't be involved in this, but we all had a kind of a horse in the game, in the race, so to speak. So we were reading as the popularity of this show grew and grew and grew and grew. It was quite exciting when it looked like it was obviously the most popular one. So normally you're not as involved in the process. You do a pilot and then you walk. And if they call you and say you have a job, then you come back. But with this, we actually got to see it and realized that it was pretty good ourselves, you know, which is rare.
And taking the novel and adapting it to the TV show and telling deeper stories than we might have gotten to read, is that a challenge? Is that a fun thing to be able to get to do, to sort of dive into the world of characters that we might not have taken that close a look to in the book?
Well, certainly for me, it's great because there's a chance to sort of open up the world a little bit and learn about other potential people who live there and other storylines. But I mean, John Smith wasn't in the.
Yeah, I mean, when I got sent the script, I did a quick check on Wikipedia to see about my character, and I couldn't find him. So I very quickly realized that my character wasn't in the book at all. So I'm quite pleased that we get the chance to explore my character, considering he's not in the book. Yeah.
It's got to be a rough thing to Google search John Smith. I go, how's this going to show up? I'm going to get the history on John Smith. So what are some of the parts about getting to grow these characters now going into season 3? How have you taken what we saw early on in the show with Juliana and John Smith and, brought them into sort of your own versions of these characters, but keep them in the world of the book at the same time?
It's been an amazing collaboration, I have to say, and living with a character for several years now. He can't hear me. Am I a low talker? Oh my goodness, that's louder.
No, it's not.
It's an incredible journey to live with a character for 3 years and to grow with her and change with her and adapt with her and to experience the things that she's experiencing and thus having those influence who she becomes. You know, this is 3 years now with this character, so it's, you know, it's an ever-changing process, certainly.
And I mean, for John Smith, the end of season 2, things are happening to everybody. Big things are happening for you. Any sort of you know, sprinkles of what we can expect for season 3? Not like spoilers.
Any Nazi sprinkles for you? Well, yeah. I mean, what's the interesting thing for me about what happens to John Smith is, in order to protect his family, he's got to climb the ladder of success in the system that is threatening his family. So it's a double bind for him, you know, that he's on the stand at the Vauxhall being zeekhiled by thousands of people, and partly he's thinking, shit, you know, because he's not safe. His family aren't safe, but his only hope is to entrench himself ever deeper into this very dangerous system. So the higher he goes, the more risk there is.
It's a scary place once you get up there. It's a long fall to the bottom. And when is season 3 going to be coming out?
Dan?
We don't know.
No!
We have
We're
some ideas,
midway.
but it's not been confirmed yet. It will be next year.
Okay.
We're still shooting
We're
it
still
right now,
shooting the 3rd season. We're midway through, so, you know.
which is what we should be doing today
That's
instead of
right.
being here with you.
Well, I, for one, appreciate you guys taking some time out in the middle of shooting to come and talk to us about more of The Man in the High Castle. The amazing Amazon original series. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. And we're going to be back with more from New York Comic Con right after this.